MemPalace is a local-first AI memory system. It stores conversation history exactly as it was written, with no summarization or paraphrasing. The data is organized into an index, people and projects are called wings, topics become rooms, and the original text lives in drawers. This structure lets you search in a scoped way instead of over a flat collection of documents. The system's retrieval layer is pluggable. By default it uses ChromaDB, but the interface is defined in a base file, so you can drop in another backend without touching the rest of the code. Nothing leaves your computer unless you explicitly decide to send data out. Installation can be done in an isolated environment to avoid package conflicts. The quickest way is to use the OV tool, which installs the MemPalace command line interface into a new virtual environment and puts it on your path. For instance, OV tool install MemPalace init projects my app. If you prefer pips, you can run pips install MemPalace. Or, if you just want to use pip, do it inside an activated virtual environment. Python mvenv, venvin in source, venvbin activate pip install MemPalace. A Docker image is also available for running the MemPalace command protocol server or the CLI without installing Python locally. The container stores all data under the data directory, so you just mount a volume there. To build the image on a CPU machine, Docker build MemPalace, then run the server over standard input. Docker run rmv MemPalace data MemPalace. If you want to use the Docker image for the CLI instead, mount both your data directory and the project you want to mine. Docker run rmv MemPalace data v path to project, work MemPalace mine work. This setup also works with Docker Compose. For GPU accelerated embeddings you can build a GPU variant of the image and run it with a gpus flag. To start using MemPalace, mine a project into the Palace. MemPalace mine projects my app MemPalace mine. Claude projects, mode convos. Search the Palace for a particular question. MemPalace search why did we switch to GraphQL? Load context for a new conversation. MemPalace wake up. Benchmarks demonstrate that the raw semantic search pipeline achieves a 96.6% recall at 5 results on the long MEMEVL dataset, requiring no API key or cloud service. A hybrid pipeline that adds keyword boosting and a lightweight LLM reranker can push this figure above 99% for capable models. The raw mode is ideal when you want zero external dependencies, while the reranker improves accuracy when you can afford a small LLM call. Other benchmarks included in the repository show performance on additional datasets such as Lacamo, ConvoMem, and MemBench, all measured with specific recall or rank metrics. Full results are available in the Benches folder of the repository. MemPalace also builds a small knowledge graph that tracks entities and relationships over time, with validity windows. This graph is stored locally in SQLite and can be queried or updated from the command line or the MCP protocol. The MCP, MemPalace Command Protocol, offers 29 standardized tools that expose Palace reads and writes, knowledge graph operations, navigation between wings, drawer management, and agent diaries. These tools can be used by any LLM or chatbot that understands the MCP format. Specialist agents plug into the Palace by creating their own wing and diary. They can be discovered at runtime with a MemPalace list agents command, keeping your system prompt free of unnecessary detail. If you are using Claude Code, MemPalace supplies 2 autosave hooks that write data periodically and just before context compression. They can be configured by following the retention setup checklist on the official website. For per message recall, run MemPalace sweep on a directory of JSONL transcripts. This writes 1 drawer per user or assistant message in an idempotent way. Requirements for running MemPalace locally are Python 3.9 or newer, a vector store backend, such as ChromaDB, about 300 meters B of disk for the embedding model. At onboarding you can choose a multilingual Gemma 300M model, 300 meters B, or a lightweight English only All-Mini LML6v2, 30 MB. No API key is required for the core benchmark workflow. Documentation is hosted on the official site and includes a JIT-started guide, a CLI reference, a Python API guide, the full benchmark methodology, release notes, and a history of public notices. Contributions are welcome through pull requests. Licensing is MIT. Overall, MemPalace provides a private, verifiable, and highly performant way to store and retrieve conversational history, with optional LLM augmentation when needed.